Previously on My Kitchen Rules, Queensland, Victoria, New South Wales and South Australia have all stepped up to the plate.
That's bloody fantastic.
And one team has been their toughest critic.
I don't like it. It hasn't really come together.
We're slowly starting to see the true Tassies.
That's not a competition dish. It's a dish that you might have on a Sunday night at home for tea.
I disagree.
That Tassie tiger's got bite.
I can't wait for the Tasmanian team to cook now.
With 2 dinner events to go, Kane and Lee are on the bottom of the leaderboard and currently face elimination. Tonight,
It's not going to be too hard to beat Kane and Lee.
Team Tasmania put their money where their mouth is.
They're putting Tassie on a plate there.
But can Melanie and James deliver?
I've definitely been to restaurants where I've had prawns that are worse.
Really?
Or will they crash and burn?
I'm not happy with any of it. A whole chain of events have occurred that really should not have. Oh,
Hobart, Tasmania, and we're heading to the suburb of Sandy Bay.
James, time to go.
Coming.
Hurry up then. Thank you.
Here we go.
Do you want me to drive or do you want to?
I might drive. I know I
Sure.
nearly crashed yesterday, but I'll
No, really?
I'll
You
do
want me
better
to drive?
today. No.
We've got a plan for today, or at least I've set out a plan. There's nothing on the menu that worries me particularly. As far as scores go, we could get 10s. So you're just going to prove that you are a bad driver? Honestly. I hate you driving my car.
Melanie and I have been together for 4 years and married for a year and a half. Best 4 years of my life.
Better be.
I'm a musician. I've been playing saxophone now for 20 years. So here's a song that I wrote for my beautiful wife, Melanie.
It's nice to have a husband that writes songs for you.
Before I met Melanie, I thought everything was deep fried. Melanie's just opened my eyes to the wonderful world of food.
You sure you don't want me to cut something up? He's so slow in the kitchen. You want to chop that up a bit more finely. We don't want to be messier than you already are.
In the kitchen, I'm without question the boss. What?
Sorry. It's all right, you can say she's bossy.
There we
I
are.
always do it in a nice way.
You do.
Tassie needs to win, and we're going to prove it. Down to the wharf.
Down to the wharf.
Fish man.
Go and get our prawns, I think.
Sounds good.
Melanie and James' first stop on their shopping trip is the docks.
After some prawns today. Live green? Yeah.
Yep.
Tonight for entree, we're serving crispy fried prawns wrapped in egg noodles with a Vietnamese salad. We're choosing prawns tonight because they go beautifully with the Vietnamese salad and it's something that we eat quite often and enjoy.
Well, it'll take a while to clean them too, isn't it?
Well, not that that's going to worry you since you don't clean prawn.
No, I love it. I peeled a prawn in 1998, but I
He wore
vowed
his gardening gloves at the time.
never to go back there again.
As Melanie and James race around Hobart shopping, the judges get a heads up on their menu.
So Melanie and James' entree, it seems yummy, it seems light, full of flavour with the Vietnamese and spice salad.
If they do it well, the egg noodles will wrap the whole prawn and seal them so that you get this beautiful, succulent, fresh prawn meat inside. If they do it wrong, though, and it's not crispy, then there's going to be problems.
Righto.
Meat.
A lovely eye fillet.
Melanie and James, I think they're both really into food and they know their produce.
I think Melanie's sort of set in her ways. She knows what she likes. She knows what goes with what.
She's headstrong, isn't she?
Yeah. So we see Tasmania as being probably our biggest threat.
I think one of the advantages we're going to have over the other teams is just our quality of locally grown produce here in Tasmania. We need some King Island eye fillet. Each piece probably about 25 centimetres long.
That looks fantastic.
Beautiful.
For main, we're serving eye fillet with Bass Strait blue cheese butter and Huon Valley mushrooms.
This is a big dish. I mean, they're putting Tassie on a plate there. They've got the King Island eye fillet, they've got the Bass Strait blue cheese butter and the Huon Valley mushrooms.
Don't touch them all, just take what's off the top.
I can't wait to try this dish. I think it's going to be spectacular.
Feeling a little bit pressed for time now.
I'm trying not to think about it because it won't do me any good.
I think we're expecting a pretty good performance from Tasmania today. So if their cooking style is anything, sort of like their knowledge of the food, then we're in for a bit of trouble.
We're in trouble.
They can only start cooking 3 hours before their guests arrive.
I'll put these up.
But first, Melanie and James need to set up their instant restaurant. Their aim is to create the feel of a jazz club.
We're calling our instant restaurant Hot Plate. In the earlier 20th century, if you did a fantastic jazz recording, you go, that's a hot plate.
Oh, look. James said it.
Taz.
It's the moment Melanie and James have been waiting for.
We're both really excited to be representing Tassie. particularly seeing that Tasmania wasn't in the competition last time.
You can start your chilli garnish and then get on to your salad, and I'm going to start on the choux pastries because I need them cooked and cold. For dessert, we're serving choux pastries filled with a chocolate creme pâtissière served with a rum creme anglaise.
Sounds appetizing. Sounds very French. Maybe they're trying to get more points for me.
I am beating the eggs into the choux pastry. You really have to work them in so you get a really nice, thick, glossy mixture. Hopefully, it will expand and I'll be able to fill them with the chocolate creme pâtissière, which is basically just a chocolate custard.
For all the big guns on the dessert, there's a lot of skill involved in creating the most perfect choux pastry. It has to be light and airy, but also crisp on the outside. Choux pastry, creme pâtissière, anglaise. Technically challenging, and this is not a dessert for novices.
This is a dessert that I've made for many years. I don't find it particularly technical. I actually find it quite an easy one to get ready.
So I'm just taking off that extra layer of pith.
Get them in nice and quick because you've got more important things to do. If you give James one job, he'll do it quite well. He would not make creme pâtissière, creme anglaise, choux pastries, peel prawns, clean prawns and wrap prawns because that's too many things all at once. There's only 2 hours to go, so you need to get moving.
I'm making the Vietnamese salad that'll sit underneath the prawns, and it's very time-consuming for me.
You're not usually this slow, so...
Well, I'm actually doing it really fast because you've got
a lot.
Each one at a time.
Well, don't do them one at a time. Just put them all in a row and chop.
It was just taking me forever, and I know it was frustrating Melanie a bit, but I was getting frustrated too.
Oh, goody, it's my turn to do prawns.
One of the things I've got to do is make the blue cheese butter for the King Island eye fillet. So I've got out the unsalted butter, 4 teaspoons parsley.
Come on, darling. You should have it done by now. The amounts aren't that important for the butter.
And the 100 grams of blue cheese, and then chuck it all into a blender.
No, just put it on full and let it go and walk away. You're actually being very good. I'm surprised.
And then I try and roll it out into a sausage, which shouldn't be as hard as what I made it.
Is it a bit too moist?
No, I'm just trying not to touch it. Look at that. Now we're talking brothers and sisters.
I'm wrapping the prawns in the egg noodles. Getting a bit nervous, I think. It's time-consuming. There's a lot of prawns and it's fiddly. It's a bit of a challenge because the noodles are starting to stick together.
Well, I could have another break.
You will not be having another break. We'll go and get dressed because they'll be here in 20 minutes. Let me go first. Have manners.
Can't believe they're finally about to be here.
Oh, don't.
Wonder what they're cooking tonight.
The guests are just about to arrive. Melanie and I have gone and got changed, and we head back into the kitchen. To me, all of a sudden, the whole thing is completely real and a little bit scary.
Very scary. Just keep focused, darling. I know you have trouble. Still got quite a bit to do. Quick, before they come, we don't want it to get warm and yucky. I'm nervous, I'm excited, a bit apprehensive. Right, so when we come back in, turn the deep fryer on, get the prawns out, you finish the salad and the dressing.
Okay.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, here it is.
Back in the
Oh
fridge.
dear, it's going really fast now.
Oh, that's empty. Oh, Christ.
Hello, anyone home?
Is that them? They're here now.
I'm petrified, to be honest. I actually feel physically sick.
Coming up,
I only took one bite.
the warning bells are ringing
Hopefully some of their food gets burnt.
when Melanie and James' confidence comes crashing down.
I'm devastated. That's not good enough in a competition of this calibre.
In Tasmania, Melanie and James are about to welcome their guests into their instant restaurant.
Oh my God. Come on in. How are you?
We first walk in and Melanie's apron's all dirty and James has hardly got a spot, so I hope she's been delegating.
It looked like a little bar with the lights and the pictures on the wall of him, you know, puffing on that the saxophone.
Would you like to have a seat?
Yep, Bill and I were over.
Artie and me both had the expectation that they were going to put out high quality food, and then to look at the theme of the restaurant and the way they'd set it up, it was just like, wow.
Please have a seat.
Melanie certainly wears the pants in the relationship, I think, but James is always there supporting her, giving her little kisses on the neck.
We've all got a little joke that every time they kiss, we all kiss.
We're proposing a toast to James and Melanie for a wonderful evening.
I hope so. Enjoy, everybody. It's so nice to have you here.
Mel and James are going to be one of the couples that are going to be right in this competition. They're one of the ones to beat.
With the guests settled, it's time for the final stages of the crispy fried prawn and Vietnamese salad entree.
Get your salad done. Because we've got no salad, no dressing, and I need to get the prawns cooked. Probably the most important component is the dressing for the entree. The dressing could ruin it.
Yeah, well, the dressing's what ties it all together.
It's just fish sauce, sweet chilli sauce, sugar and some lime juice, but it's important to get the quantities right so you get the right balance of sweet and sour. Could you work on the dressing? Just have a taste of it and tell me what you think.
maybe a little bit salty. My job now becomes trying to fix that sauce. So I add some sugar to it and I add some sweet chilli sauce to it. Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay.
These final touches are not just about impressing the guests. It's also about impressing the judges.
You don't want it too strong on dressing. Oh my God.
They're here.
Okay.
I can't believe that they're here.
Greeting the judges is a little bit scary, but it's an absolute honour and privilege to have them in our home. You ready?
Yes,
I'm not sure I am. Welcome.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Come on in.
Also, hi.
Hello.
Darling, are you?
No.
Hey, Pete. Great
I've
to see
got
you.
big expectation from Melanie more than James. She seems to have a great knowledge of food, and she's a traditionalist.
Who's the lucky one tonight?
Me, I guess.
Welcome
Welcome
to Hot Plate. You all get to look at your menus. Now, if you look under your serviettes, you shall find them.
I'm expecting a symphony on the menu tonight. Oh, a symphony. Isn't that good? I reckon that was good. Whatever.
The menu looks amazing. There's a lot of things which could go wrong.
I love our fillet.
Wow, we thought great Tasmanian produce. Wow.
I'm excited. Tonight, we're hoping that Mel and James are not top scorers for our sake.
We are bottom at the moment. We want the food to be bad, I guess, for us to advance in the competition. Hopefully some of their food gets burnt.
I've heard that meat is just some of the best in the world.
The one I'm most looking forward to is the main course, until they tell me how it's going to be served.
You should know that the eye fillet will be cooked medium tonight.
My alarm bells are ringing because I love mine rare. Medium rare the most. But I'm happy to trust the chef.
But first, Melanie and James must get through their prawn entree.
I'm going to give one a go.
Excellent.
There's a risk that if I try and crisp the noodles too much, then the prawns are going to be overcooked. So I need to find some sort of balance in between. And that may mean that the noodles aren't completely brittle. As long as they're cooked through, I think that will be okay. Do you want to let it sit a minute? No? I knew you wouldn't.
Beautiful.
All right, salad then. Come on, stop eating. Wash your hands. Get into it.
Still got 2 plates to go. Some have got less than others, sweetheart, and I'm starting to get a bit low on the
You
salad.
didn't put the lettuce in. That will bulk it up. So you need to take them all off, pop it back in, mix some lettuce through, and you'll be right.
Like quite Asian starter. It's a very modernist, like sort of Australian, I guess, main. And then the dessert is very French.
Yeah.
Tasting in my mouth already.
Oh, haven't offered Peter Manil a drink.
It smells beautiful. Are you doing anything in there or, you know?
Yeah, I've been singing, telling a few gags.
Kissing and...
Gives me a little bit of kissing.
I think James has a great attitude to run the restaurant. Calm, cool, just like a jazz singer.
1 Pilsner for you. Man, I've had it and I've gone, what is this?
James is out in the room pouring drinks and not really doing too much in the kitchen.
I'll leave it with you so you can have a look at the bottom.
They're not stressed. She's pouring beers while she's cooking.
Beautiful, mate.
How are you going there, James?
How am I going in here? Well,
Oh, you've been a great help.
Grace, isn't that what they say? Best way to help is to
Disappear.
go and hide.
Just make sure the prawns are quite high on the plate if you can, James. I probably would have liked to have seen a bit more salad, to be honest. But
really?
yeah, some of these are quite messy the way you've... This is our first meal of the competition, and we're really hoping that we can show them what we can do.
I'm scared already.
I'm petrified. My hands are shaking. I can't even think. Entree is served.
It is.
Wow. My hands don't shake.
The entrees are placed in front of us and they're colourful. It smells wonderful.
It looks fresh and appetizing, but unfortunately I can see the noodles are quite soggy. I thought they were going to be crispy.
Next,
My first thoughts are a waste of time.
Right.
I've definitely been to restaurants where I've had prawns that are worse. Really?
the time has come for Melanie and James to serve their first dish of the competition, crispy fried prawns on a Vietnamese salad.
The colours were beautiful. Like, it just looked gorgeous on the plate, how they presented it. It's going to be good.
Yes, that's really good.
We're really feeling anxious at this point, and I don't know what to think. I'm hoping for good things.
How long did it take you to wrap the prawns?
Well, it took me longer to clean them all because James won't touch fish.
It's the first I've heard of this.
Oh, you liar. It probably did take me a good half an hour.
My first thoughts are on eating it and going through it is a waste of time.
Right.
For what you were trying to achieve. They're not crispy.
I'm disappointed, but I'm not going to cry over spilt milk. It's happened.
You could have saved yourself half an hour by just barbecuing or just pan-frying them.
The salad, damn, it's good. Fresh and zingy, and the flavors of the salt and the sweetness, and it's full of flavor.
The snow peas, the cucumber, the salad mix in there, it's gorgeous, and the dressing you've done, it's lovely. The thing that made it work is the dressing. And the dressing is just spot on. It's perfect. It's beautiful. I love it.
I'm so proud of that salad. It took me forever to make it, but slow and steady wins the race, and the judges loved it. Who would have thought?
Great start to your dinner. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm going to kiss you.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
Tassie's come out with their guns a-blazing. Sammy and Bella should be really worried about holding on to their top position.
I think you should be very proud of us.
Well, we should be because we did it together. So, all right, let's get on because we've got to get organised or we're not going to have a main course out.
Okay. I cut the prawn and put the salad on it and ate it, and bang, in my mouth. I'm thinking, it's Vietnam. And the lime just takes me back to Patong Beach. You know, the smell, the look, it's all great.
I've definitely been to restaurants where I've had prawns that are worse.
Really?
Yeah.
What a horrible restaurant.
I know.
I can taste everything in here. Beautiful. Coriander? I detest coriander. I don't like it. She says she will never eat coriander. Now that she said it, I can taste it. Don't talk with your mouth full. She then realises that there's coriander up to then. I could taste it. No, I could taste it. I only took one bite. Does that mean you're not going to have the prawns either? The prawns haven't got coriander. It's a salad that's got coriander.
Well, I'll eat the salad if you're not going to.
Well, I'll have the prawns. You stay there and you stay there. And I'll finish it off.
For main, we're serving King Island eye fillet with bass straight blue cheese butter. I'm going to pan fry them and then put them in the oven, and they need to get, for medium, about 160 Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what that is in real temperature. For the beef, I need to brown the meat and then simply just put it in the oven and bake it. There we go. The biggest challenge with cooking the eye fillet is to cook it to medium, and I've got a meat thermometer with me that I'm going to use to make sure that we do that.
We were talking about the beef being cooked medium. What do you think about that?
I prefer it medium rare. I'm surprised that with a bunch of foodies at the table that they would choose for medium.
Who thinks medium is too cooked?
Let's have a show of hands.
Yeah, I like mine bloody. Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Good evening.
Welcome to the kitchen.
It's smelling very good. Thank you. You're doing the beans. So what's next on the agenda?
We have some eye fillet.
Yes.
Beautiful King Island eye fillet.
Ah, so you've got a thermometer in your beef there.
I don't want to overcook it.
Very clever. So what's the temperature of medium?
I'm going for 160 Fahrenheit.
What's that in Celsius?
From memory, you take away 20 and divide by 2. So 160, 140, 70 to cook it to medium.
Wrong. 70 degrees is medium well to well done.
But I'll be going with my Fahrenheit. No? Am I doing it wrong?
I don't know.
Well, it doesn't matter because I'm doing it.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you.
Oh no, I feel sick now. He doesn't say whether I'm right or wrong, but I second guess myself and I feel like I must be doing it wrong. I'm really battling and I'm not quite sure now what I should cook it to.
Have you just gone into the kitchen?
Yes.
And how does it smell?
It's smelling very good. I'm just trying not to, scream. Cross finger, they're not going to overcook the beef.
I feel sick now. What if I'm wrong?
Well, I don't know.
He made a face at me.
I don't think he knew.
He did know. He knows everything.
No, he doesn't.
Oh my God, he does. I'm not sure why I'm doing this. I'm checking the meat. Every 5 minutes I'm opening the door and giving it a press and looking at the thermometer. It's still quite rare. I would never usually do that. I'm losing my confidence. I should step back and just relax and think clearly, but I can't. I'll just give it a go. If this one's not ready, we've got the others still in the oven and I'll put this one back in, but it'll give us a gauge to how we're going.
Nervous about it?
That's not medium, that's medium rare, so it's 5 minutes.
5 more minutes, is that all?
Yep.
Same.
Those beautiful pieces of meat are ready to eat now, not in 10 minutes.
I start focusing on other things now that the meat's back in the oven. I need to get the mushrooms pan-fried in some olive oil. They're going along nicely. I get James on the beans because we need to blanch them. And I realise that really the meat should be out by now. I don't have a clock in here, but hopefully it's okay. It needs to rest. I'm just going to leave it there for a few minutes and hopefully all will go well. Here we go. Are you scared?
Wait.
I'm actually thinking it's going to be rarer than medium, but...
Oh, do you? I'm just crossing my fingers and toes that it is cooked medium.
I'm slicing through the meat and I can see that it is most certainly not medium. It's moved to medium well, there's no doubt about that. We've promised them medium and we haven't delivered. I'm devastated. This is not what I want to send out. That's not good enough in a competition of this calibre.
In Hobart, Melanie and James are about to serve their main dish.
That's a good one.
The main's put down in front of me, and the first thing I'm looking for is the pinkness in the middle of the eye fillet, and it just wasn't there.
Thank you. You can see it in their face that they're not happy. Because then I look down and I see why they're not happy, and my beef is grey.
I'm embarrassed, and the stress of being judged is quite difficult to take.
Melanie and James, you seem to have lost your smile.
Damn. I wish it was served medium. Personally, I feel it, for me, rare to medium rare is ideal, but unfortunately this is just too overcooked. It's got no moisture, it's very, very chewy and lacking of flavour. The worst nightmare is on that plate. It's
sacrilege.
I'm disappointed in myself. They were expecting more than this and we didn't deliver.
Also disappointed about the beans. I just don't agree on just plain blanched vegetables. There's no butter, there's no oil or jus on it. You know, there's basically no love whatsoever. Saying that the blue cheese butter is kicking ass.
Well done.
I'm a butter lover.
I'm really happy with how the blue cheese has turned out. I'm not real quick in the kitchen, but good things take time, and the blue cheese butter has come out fantastic.
And it works so well with the mushrooms too. I love them. The mushrooms for me are like the salad from the first course. You know, just give me a plate of those mushrooms. They're just perfectly cooked. I was expecting a lot more. Hopefully you can deliver with the dessert. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bon appétit.
Bon appetito.
How do you feel about that?
Well, all right. That's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't all bad.
Cutting into my steak, I can see that it's not as dry as Pete and Manu's.
My steak, on the other hand, is dead. It reminds me of when you cook a slab of beef and you put it in the fridge overnight and you get it the next day and use it for sandwiches. After this main course, if Mel and James don't have a good dessert, gives us just a glimmer of hope that perhaps we can move one up the leaderboard and not be bottom.
We love butter and blue cheese, so the two of them together was a marriage in heaven for us.
I'd like to say that sometimes food is also about memories. When I was 12, I used to watch my father, who passed away 10 years ago, eat this eye fillet with mushroom, and he loved it. So this is going to always be a winner for me.
That's what food does, it brings back memories.
And cheers to your dad. Thanks for
sharing. Cheers to my beautiful father.
We've got to get this toffee done. And if it doesn't work, well, it's not on the menu, so they won't know the difference. We actually couldn't be in a better place for our dessert. The choux pastries are done, the creme pâtissière is done, the creme anglaise is done. We've made a ganache, and all that's left is to spin some toffee. If you could just put 600 grams of sugar in there. Yep. It is only sugar and a very small amount of water in a pan.
Once it starts to boil, I'll just leave it.
Yeah, don't stir it once it's boiled. Essentially, you'll spin the toffee and it'll get the lovely airy strands of almost very flossy looking sort of sugar.
I've been put in charge now of making the new batches of toffee, but I'm not very confident at preparing this toffee. I'd like to ask Melanie for some help with it, but I know that she's preoccupied with trying to do her own jobs over there.
Don't stir it anymore, darling. It's boiling. Remember I said once it boils, don't stir.
So I'm losing confidence rapidly.
How are you going? You didn't get all the sugar down, see? And that it got into the mixture.
She's very temperamental then.
I know I can do so much better, but it's the way it's going to be tonight. We have to get it out to the table. You can see that they've got a bit darker as I've gone along, actually, and they've got thicker.
So who is looking forward to dessert?
Me.
The girls, always the girls.
So you're putting the creme anglaise in first, or are you going to put the choux pastry in and then...
Creme anglaise in first. We start plating up the creme anglaise and we don't have enough. Lucky for us, I did make a second batch earlier in the day, but it's a different consistency to this batch. It's a much thicker custard.
I'm not happy with any of it just at the minute.
Nothing we can do about it. We're moving on. We've got to move on. So I go to pipe some of the chocolate ganache, just little round balls.
Oh, it's come out. You didn't put it in the piping bag right. James.
Kidding?
No, I'm not kidding.
I can't believe that this is all going on.
Oh. Just keep an eye on the toffee. We can't lose that in the microwaves. They'll just go out as they are.
A whole chain of events have occurred that really should not have.
No, not now, darling. Leave it.
I'll leave it.
Yes, thank you.
I'm very stressed. I'm not happy at all.
Never had trouble piping anything in my entire life. Well, why is it blocking? It's just gone retarded. I don't understand.
I'm wondering if we are ever going to salvage this dessert because it's looking like a disaster.
Oh dear. James, I don't know what to do.
It's been an hour and a half since Melanie and James served their main course.
It won't pipe out. I don't know. Well, why is it blocking?
We need to get the desserts out. We haven't got very long.
What's going on? Is there some chocolate up there?
I reckon, yep.
I can't believe this is happening. We were so prepared. This should have been on the plate already.
Coming out all right now, sweetheart?
Yeah, it's coming out, but I haven't been particularly neat about it.
I was hoping this dish would pull us round and that it would end the night on a high note. I'm not expecting that at all now.
All right, let's just get them out there and then I can cry.
Okay.
Dessert is served.
Interesting. Beautiful. Thank you very much. When Melanie and James bring in the dessert, everyone's sort of looking at the little sugary cluster at the top, wondering, what is this? We weren't expecting this.
I'm pleasantly surprised. It looks professional. You know, choux pastry, rum anglaise, yum.
But I look at Melanie and she doesn't seem to be happy for some reason.
I'm expecting him to say, this is no good, this is not very attractive, but I'm not quite sure what else they're thinking.
I'm just so nervous. I don't think I could hold Melanie any tighter or squeezing the blood out of her hands.
Sponge sugar is not an easy thing to do. It's pretty brave. I just put my hat off to you because a lot of things can go wrong.
I would love to have seen the anglaise a little bit thicker. It's very watery.
So can I? This one is nice and thick. Did you have 2 batches of creme anglaise?
I did.
Saying that, I think this one is overcooked. I probably would have mixed both together to get the right consistency.
And then strained it.
And then strained it.
To get rid of the lumps.
And also, I can't really taste the rum.
It's time to be honest, I forgot to put it in.
For me, if I had ordered from a restaurant, I'd be sending that back. It's on the menu, it's a key ingredient, and it's not what I ordered.
In saying that, I think it's a bloody good dessert. The sugar work, I think, works really well. When it first came out, I thought we should have a trio instead of a quartet. You know, when you've got the choux pastry, the anglaise and the sugar. It tastes good, it looks good. Well done.
I'm disappointed that I didn't show them how well we can do it, but I'm very relieved and so surprised that they think it's okay.
Bon appétit.
Almost every single element in this dish is cooked to perfection. I loved it, but there was just one little thing which I just couldn't eat, and that was my creme anglaise.
If they'd gotten the custard right, I would have loved it. The only bad bit is that there wasn't another one on the plate. I feel like another one. The dessert was beautiful. We enjoyed it.
For Melanie and James, their fate now lies in the hands of their guests. Each team will critique their 3-course meal, then score their instant restaurant out of 10.
I enjoyed it. I love the entree. I love the salad. Beautiful. Prawns a little bit overdone, maybe, but sweet. They were really sweet.
I didn't like the prawns.
I didn't
They
like
were really hard.
Yeah, and I expected more noodles.
I feel it was meant to be the star.
I was waiting for it to melt in my mouth, and it didn't.
I think overall, the flavours worked really well.
If they hadn't made those couple of mistakes with overcooking some pieces, the menu would have been spot on.
The dessert is, you know, there was a lot of things on the plate, but gee, it tasted good.
The sugar, beautiful.
I'm glad Mel forgot to put the rum in it because I'm not a rum fan. So to me, I really enjoyed the dessert.
Tonight, we give Mel and James a 7 out of 10 for a great entree and then a lovely, lovely dessert.
We give Melanie and James a score of 8 out of 10. As the competition progresses, we have been to other restaurants, so we know how to judge against other menus.
Tonight, we give Melanie and James an 8 out of 10.
That menu represented how much they know about food and how well they know how to pair flavours together, so they deserve good points for that.
We give Mel and James a 7.
They were 3 terrific meals. The thing that let them down was certainly their main.
It just wasn't cooked medium how they said they were going to cook it.
We give Melanie and James a 5 out of 10.
For us, the entree and the main lost in points, but the dessert lifted a little bit, so the dessert was the high point.
Let's face the music then, huh?
I'm just squeezing Melanie's hand real tight as we walk out.
We're hoping for the best, but we really are expecting the worst.
When Melanie and James went into bat for Tasmania,
Don't do them one at a time, just put them all in a row and chop.
little did they know, turning their home into an instant restaurant could be so hard.
All right, let's just get them out there and then I can cry.
Have their triumphs done enough to knock Sammy and Bella off their top spot, or will their disasters drop them lower than Kane and Lee?
I think Mel and James got the same amount of things wrong as we got wrong, so I'm hoping that they score low.
And then we can sneak into the next round, which is horrible of me to say, but it's true.
We're hoping for the best, but we really are expecting the worst.
Melanie and James, the guest teams have given you a combined score of 35 out of 50.
I can just feel James's arms squeeze me from behind. I'm chuffed, and I know he is too.
Now it's our turn. Manu?
For entree, crispy fried prawns wrapped with egg noodles. The prawns were a little overcooked for my liking, but the salad was just so tasty.
Magnificent salad. I love it when I'm presented with authentic flavours, great balance of seasoning, and for that, I'm scoring you an 8.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll give you an 8.
Thank you.
To get an 8 from both Pete and Manu for our entree just blew me away. I just can't believe it. I can't believe it.
James, Melanie, main course. What for me could have been the highlight of the whole menu here was severely let down by the timing of the beef. That's what spoiled the whole thing.
For me, the green beans, no seasoning, no sauce, no love. And for this, I give you a 5.
I'm scoring you a 4.
After hearing the critique on the main, the meat was overcooked, so a mediocre performance on the dessert could be good news for us.
There are a few technical faults with the dessert, just the cream anglaise being quite runny.
And with that rum.
This was not our best work. I'm really worried at this point. I'm about to cry.
The choux, stuffed with the creme pat, the right amount of sweetness, bitterness of the chocolate, just lovely.
I loved everything. The sugar, the anglaise, the choux pastry. I thought it was a really well put together dessert.
In a whole, it was a good dish. Very French. And for this, I give you a 7.
The score I'm giving you is an 8. So that gives you a grand total score of 75.
To think that I was nearly ready to walk out of the kitchen halfway through that dessert and to come through is an amazing achievement. And we're actually quite proud of ourselves now.
With 75 points, Melanie and James are safe. Sammy and Bella remain in the lead with 89, while Kane and Lee still face elimination.
We are bottom at the moment. There's still one to go. Italia.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you for a great night. With Melanie and James, there seems to be one head chef, and that's Melanie. I think they'll go extremely well in this competition.
Thank you so much tonight, ladies and gentlemen, for coming.
We're the last instant restaurant to cook for everybody. Bye. For sure, we're going to beat Kane and Lee. For sure.
Hooroo.
Bye, guys. We're from WY. So, hello. The proof is where? In the pasta.
Tomorrow on My Kitchen Rules.
Oh, my goodness.
You can hear them already.
Who is it?
With just one more team to cook,
Give it to me. Give it to me.
can Daniela and Stefania win over the judges' taste buds?
Is it good?
It's all right.
Where's the sauce?
Or will they be the ones facing elimination?
I had to pick my heart up off the floor. I gave him a dad.